Yeah, hello. See here.
Yes.
Now, again, this equation is in this form. So, again, what you do is first, what you have to do? You have to put this, write this d by dx is equal to d, right? Na? So, that means d square by dx square is equal to d square. Just substitute these, right? These are the steps. So, here you substitute. So, this would be equal to d square y. This would be equal to 4 dy, right? Now, this d by
Mm.
dx, na? These terms. So, this term d by dx is nothing but d, right? And this d square, this term is nothing but d square, right? Here you see. Then you just put this value, this is your 5y is equal to 0. Okay, so you just take this out for d square for d plus 5. Okay, y equals to 0, correct? Now just put this in terms of m, d is equal to m. Okay, and write this m square plus 4m plus 5 equals to 0, right? Now you just use that discriminant formula. So this is b value, a value is 1, b value is 4, c value is 5. We just have this formula minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac by 2a, correct? Use that. So minus b is nothing but minus 4. Minus 4 plus minus b square would be 4 square 16 minus 4ac. 4c is 5, a is 1, right? Divided by 2a. 2 into 1. So this would be minus 4 plus minus. So 16 minus 20. 16 minus 20 divided by 2. Correct. So this becomes minus 2 plus minus. When 2 I take inside the square root, what it will become? It has to become 4, right? Because square root of 4 is 2, right? This 2 I took inside the square root. So I made it 4, right? So this is minus 2 plus minus, that is 16 minus 20 is minus 4 by 4. So this becomes square root of minus 1, which is nothing but j. So this is minus 2 plus minus j, right? This
Mm.
is minus 2 plus minus j. Or you can write j, I. In mathematics, we write it as I. In the electrical circuits, I will term this as j, okay? Which
Okay.
is one and the same thing. Plus minus I. Okay, write this, you right. Now, what are the roots you got? You got minus 2 plus minus I, right? So
Mm.
what would be its complementary function? Can you tell me?
Mm.
See, complementary function for this is the real part, this is the imaginary part, right? So
Yeah.
real part will have the exponential value, right? It is basically, I just showed you, know, the previous also. If you have like this p plus minus iq in this form, then it would be written as, right, e to power px c1 cos qx plus c2 sin qx, right? C2
Mm.
sine qx. Imaginary part, now see here. In this case, q is your 1, right? What is the value of q? Minus 1 actually. Minus 2, okay, plus minus 1. So, means the value of q, there you have to substitute, right? So, q you need not, q is your basically, in this case, what is the q value? That is 1 only, right? 1. Q is 1. Coefficient of I is 1, na? And
Yeah.
coefficient of real p is minus 2, correct?
Mm.
P is minus 2. Substitute this. So that would be equal to e power minus 2x. Okay. Then c1 into cos q is 1. So 1 into x plus c2 sine 1 into x plus c2 sine 1 into x. So what did you get? You got e power minus 2x, right?
Mm.
c1 cos of x plus c2 sine of x, right? Now, this is the value that you got. Hmm? Now, it is also, see, it is saying you that it's not only this, it is saying you that in this question, you see, it is saying you that given that y is equal to 2 and dy by dx is equal to d square y by dx square when x is equal to 0. Okay, so it means, so y we got, right? This is the value of y, that is the complementary function. Okay, this from the complementary, hence. y we got. Now, what it is saying you that, see, till here it is understood. After
Yeah.
that, it is giving a statement. Statement is that statement states, see, when y value happens to be 2, that means this value happens to be 2. Okay. And dy by dx would be, at that point, dy by dx would be equal to d square y by dx square. And when this happens when x is equal to 0. Okay. Now this is your y, right? What is your dy by dx? So you differentiate both the sides. So in order to differentiate, so multiply this with d by dx of y. So d by dx of y can be written as y dash. If you have d square by double differentiation dx square of y, it is y double dash, right? If you
Mm.
do d cube by dx cube is equal to y triple dash, right? So now you can see d by dx of y. So this can also be written as dy, right? Because d by dx is d, dy is y dash. This d square by this thing, this d square y can be written as y double dash. Same way, d cube y can be written as y triple dash, correct now? This
Mm.
you keep in mind. These things you keep in mind. Now, why you what? So you differentiate this dy by dx. Okay. Here also you start to differentiate. So d by dx of the entire thing, right? So first you multiply e power minus 2x into c1 cos x, right? Plus e power minus 2x into c2 sin x, right? You open this. Now you have to differentiate. So d by dx of e power minus 2x cos x will come first. Then plus d by dx of e power minus 2x c2 sin x will come. This is the open differentiation. Na? And here on the right hand side, dy by dx you have done. This is y dash. So y dash value happens to be this. So if you differentiate e power minus 2x, okay, with respect to cos x, so what is the value? Right? So how do you
Mm.
differentiate e power minus 2x and cos x? Right? So it's a simple rule. It's a UV rule of differentiation. So if you do UV rule, so it means u into dv by dx plus v into du by dx, right? So
Mm.
what you have taken e power minus 2x. So write e power minus 2x dv by dx. So this v is cos x, right? V is equal to cos x. Now if you differentiate cos x, dy by dx, differentiation of cos x is minus sin x, right? So dv by dx. So dv by dx would be minus sin x, right? Then again v you put, that is your cos x, correct? Then differentiation of e power minus 2x, if you differentiate, it will nothing, it will be this minus 2 comes down, minus 2, and it will remain as e power minus 2x. So basic differentiation formula you remember, okay? That's why you are getting difficulty in solving these problems.
Mm.
Minus 2 into e power minus 2x. I will send you a list of formulas every
Okay.
day. It is not a huge number of formulas. Integration some 20 formulas, differentiation some 20. Okay.
Mm.
Every day, if you learn 5, 6 before sleep and then practice, like in 10, 15 days, you will be the champion of the mathematics. You'll hit left, right, and center. Maths is the
Mm.
easiest subject in the world, I will tell you. Okay.
Mm.
Only little practice and little remembrance of it. It is not that difficult. Okay.
Mm.
So once I did this y dash, okay, what I got is I got this as e power minus 2x, right? You just carefully look and see here. I'll take to the next slide. Okay, here. So I got this y is equal to e power minus 2x. Okay. C1 cos of x plus C2 sin of x, right now. So what I
Mm.
did differentiation dy by dx. So I got y dash value here. So how I do y dash now? See, you can do a easier way to do is, see, take this as u, this as v, right? Now you
Mm.
do u into dv by dx, right? Plus v into du by dx, right? So you know that is equal to e power minus 2x. So du by dx right on this side would be equal to minus 2 into e power minus 2x. Okay, v is equal to your c1 cos of x plus c2 sin of x. Correct na?
Mm.
Sin of x. So what would be your dv by dx? Huh? If you do, okay, he has done like this. Okay, my dash. So dv by dx, it will become big. Here it will become c1 this cos will become minus sine, right? So
Mm.
cos differentiation will become minus sine of x, and this plus what was this plus c2 sine will become cos of x, right? So this will change. So this will become minus c1 sine of x plus c2 cos of x. This differentiation, correct? Okay. Now you put u value is what? Put the value there. U value is your e power minus 2x, correct? Now
Mm.
dv by dx from here. So put this value here minus c1 sine of x plus c2 cos of x, correct? Then plus v. Again, v is this value. That is c1 cos of x plus c2 sine of x, right? And then you are left with du by dx, which you have calculated here. So multiply it with minus 2 e power minus 2x, correct?
Mm.
So y dash value you got this, right? Y dash is equal to e power minus 2x, okay, into
Mm.
minus c1 sine of x plus c2 cos of x, and this plus minus becomes minus. So you will write minus 2 e power minus 2x, okay,
Mm.
c1 cos of x plus c2 sine of x, okay, like this you write. Now y dash you got. Can you get me y double dash? See, what is the condition he's telling? He's saying that given that, okay, y is equal to 2 and dy by, okay, dy by uh, dx is equal to d square y by dx square when x is equal to 0, calculate c1 and c2, right? C1 and C2. Now y double dash was this. So if y double dash is basically what? d by dy by dx, right? One dash means now d square y by dx square, right? That means d by dx into dy by dx, right? Now dy by dx is y double dash, y dash. If I multiply d by dx into dy by dx, I get d square y, which is nothing but y double dash. So now I'll get y double dash. I again have to differentiate this whole d by dx of this whole, right? This
Yeah.
above equation there, this whole equation. So that would be e power minus 2x, okay, minus c1 sine x plus c2 cos x, correct? Minus 2 e power minus 2x c1 cos of x plus c2 sine of x, like this. Now you tell me one thing, okay? Now we got we you again you have to differentiate, right? Hmm? Again you have to differentiate. Again you do what do you do? Again in this case, okay, what what is your idea? How do you solve for it?
Mm.
See, if you carefully analyze this value here, right? This value after 2. What is this value? This is nothing but y,
Yeah.
correct? So this
Mm.
value can be just written as y, right? 2y
Yeah.
like this. Okay, understood.
Mm.
So now I will not differentiate this value. I'll just differentiate this. Just take this as u and take this as v. Now you can you do it? I'll write in the next page. I'll ask you to do. Okay. So I get by doing this y dash is equal to e power minus 2x. Okay. That is your minus c1 sine of x plus c2 cos of x minus 2y, right? Because I already know my y value is equal to, I calculated e power minus 2x minus c1 sine of x plus c2 cos of x, right? This was my y value, right? Now here I need y double dash, right? So in order to get y double dash, I'll differentiate one more time, right? So I'll say dy dx into y dash is what? Dy by dx, right? So
Mm.
this becomes d square y by dx square, which becomes double dash. But in order to get this y dash to y double dash, what I did, I differentiated. So that means if I multiply d by dx to y double dash, y dash, I'll get y double dash, right? So which would be, then I have to differentiate here also, d by dx e power minus 2x, right? Minus 2x minus c1 sine of x plus c2 cos of x minus 2y, correct? Now I know that this value, though, you will do UV rule, right? Take this as u, it was and take this as v, correct? Now your u is e power minus 2x, correct? What would be your u dash? That would be minus 2 into e power minus 2x, correct?
Mm.
Now your v is minus c1 sine of x plus c2 cos of x. So your v1 dash, sorry, dv by dx. U dash is nothing but your du by dx. Du,
Mm.
right? When I write u dash, it means the same thing, d by dx multiplication. Like how y dash means d by dx into y. Okay. So your dv by dx here would be equal to, see, minus c1, you are doing cos x, sin x ka differentiation, that would be cos x, plus c2 cos x ka differentiation, that would be minus sin x. So that would come as minus c2 sin x, right? So this differentiation changes to minus c1 cos of x minus c2 sin of x. Now you just have to put here in this function u into dv by dx plus v into du by dx, right? This is the whole thing. Okay, minus 2 dy by dx, right? This also you have to do now. First this and this also is there, right? This is for this, then this. So you get u value, you put, what is u value? E power minus 2x. dv by dx you have seen here, that is minus c1 cos of x minus c2 sin of x, correct? Plus v value is this, right? Minus c1 sin of x plus c2 cos of x, and u dash is nothing but minus 2, minus 2 e power minus 2x, correct na? Then this is minus 2y dash, right? Minus 2y dash. Now you see y dash you already have calculated, right? Y dash you
Mm.
have already calculated. This is the value of y dash, right now.
Yeah.
Minus 2y dash you have already calculated. So basically now what is happening is your y double dash value, which you got as e power minus 2x minus c1 cos of x. This would look little heavy today because you have no practice. Unlike the circuit analysis, math is easy. It needs practice. Okay.
Mm.
It it needs, see, if you are spending 20 to 30 out of 100, 30%, if you are spending on circuit, 70% you have to spend on math. Math will not come without practice. Circuit to okay, concept is there, this okay, current is going from here and all, because that many like here, so any question can come, right? So you have to know, like, your arithmetic skill has to be there. Okay, minus c sine of x plus c2, although I'm an electrical engineer, but I highly regard maths. Without mathematics, engineering is nothing. Okay,
Yeah.
so when the only thing you are facing problem is your maths is weak, that's why you are struggling in engineering. Consider y is equal to 2, right? When x is equal to 0, that means when y When x is equal to 0, you can get the value of C1, right? And consider, okay, the second case is y dash is equal to y double dash when x is equal to 0. Now you tell me, when y is equal to 0, right? When y is equal to 2. So y value is what? Y value is the above value, right? The first value. Y is equal to e power minus 2x, right?
Mm.
C1 cos of x plus C2 sine of x, right?
Mm.
When y is equal to 2, so x is equal to 0. So x is e minus 2 into 0, C1 cos of 0, right? Plus C2 sine of 0, right? See,
Mm.
cos 0 value is equal to 1. Sine 0 value is equal to 0. So that means C2 into 0. This would be C1 into 1. Okay, plus this. Then this is e power 0, right? Whole of this is equal to 2. Remember, e power 0 is equal to 1. Anything to the power 0 is equal to 1. So this would be 2. That is 1 into C1 plus 0. So this is, you got the value of C1 is equal to 2, correct? C1 value you got. C1 is equal to 2. Now you want to get the value of C2, right? So what he's saying, y double dash is equal to y dash is equal to y double dash when x is equal to 0, right? So in y dash also we will put the value, and y double dash also we will put the value, right? Understood? So if you
Yeah.
go for the y dash value, so look at the y dash value there. Now the y dash value happens to be this. Y dash is equal to e power minus 2x, right?
Mm.
Minus C1 sine of x plus C2 cos of x and minus 2y, correct? Minus 2, okay, yeah, minus 2y, okay. And y double dash value we just now saw is equal to e power minus 2x minus C1 cos of x minus C2 sine of x minus 2 e power minus 2x minus C1 sine of x plus C2 cos of x minus 2y dash, right? This is the case. So from y dash equation, when we substituted it, what we got the value when y is equal to 2 and when x was equal to 0, we got the value of C1. See, if we equate these two equations, right? Y dash equals to y double dash, okay? And put x equals to 0. Put x equals to 0. What is going to happen? Okay,
Mm.
just put these equations, right? So 2y and 2 minus 2y dash, right? Just put this equations here. Huh? So what is the thing that you are going to get two equations? You see, first equation is for y dash here, right? So if you put
Mm.
this 0 here, x is equal to 0, right? So in y dash you will get what value? This is 0, so this will become e power minus 2 into 0, right? Then minus C1 sine 0. C1 gone there. Plus C2 cos 0, right? Cos 0. Minus 2y. In 2y you have the value of y now.
Mm.
Y value you put now. Y value is your e power minus 2x, right? Instead of x here you have to put 0. Okay. Into C1 cos x. So cos x will put 0 here, right? Plus C2 sine x. We'll put 0 here. Now, if you open this equation, so this is e power 0, sine 0 is 0, right? Sine 0 is equal to 0, cos 0 is equal to 1. This thing you have to remember. So this will become minus C1 plus C2, correct? And e power 0 is nothing but 1, right? E power 0, here itself I'll write e power 0, and this term here will become 1. This term here becomes 1. 1 into this. Then you have minus 2, okay? again e power 0, right? This becomes 1, right? This will become e power 0 now when I'll put x is equal to 0. Then I have c1 cos 0 is 1, sin 0 is 0, c2 into 0, right? This is the thing, right? This is my equation for what? Y dash, correct? So
Hmm.
y dash I got minus c1, okay, plus c2 minus 2c1, and this c2 became again 0. I get an equation c2 minus 3c1, correct?
Hmm.
C2 minus 3c1 or minus 2c1. Wait a second. C2, 3, C1 will become 0 here, na? Minus c1 into sine 0 is there, na? So this is 0, right? So this is 0. So I'll get c2 minus 2c1, okay? Understood?
Yeah.
This here we did not put this, okay? This becomes your y of dash. What I'm writing? Y dash is equal to my y double dash, right? For y dash,
Hmm.
I got the equation c2 minus 2c1, right? Now y double dash I put, right? For y double dash. Now you put for y double dash. So y double dash is nothing but e power minus 2x, okay? But here you have minus 2y dash, right? So you have to put the whole equation for 2y dash. So minus 2y dash equation is what? That is e power minus 2x, right? Minus c1 sin x plus c2 cos x minus 2y, right? So y again will come here, minus 2y, right? Minus 2y. So this y equation also you have to write, minus 2y, na? That would be equal to your e power minus 2x and c1 cos of x plus c2 sin of x. Once I wrote this whole equation, what I have to put? I have to put just wherever x is there, 0. Here also 0, correct? Here also 0. This term will become 0. This term 0. Okay.
Hmm.
This term x term 0, right? Minus 2y dash. Then for minus 2y dash, I've written here, right? This is
Yeah.
the whole thing for minus 2y dash and this thing. So minus, okay, again, this term will become minus 2, na? This wala part, this though is not included here. So then you notice here, this wala part also becomes 0, correct? Sine 0. This is also 0. Minus 2, right? Y was equal to, no. This is minus 2 e power minus 2x, okay, c1 sine of x plus c2 minus 2y, right? Minus, yeah, minus 2 will come, minus 2, let me write here. Minus 2 and this is y, right? Minus 2 and this is y. So for y wala value, you'll put this as 0, this 0, this 0. Now you just see y double dash, this is 0, right? So it becomes 1, e to the power 0, right? Then C1 will exist because cos 0 is 1. So minus C1, right? This C2 will vanish because sine 0 is 0. So minus 1 into 0, 0. So no need to write that. Okay. So
Okay.
first thing you got minus C1, then minus 2, right? E to the
Hmm.
power again, this is 1. Okay. Then again, minus C1 sine 0. So this vanishes. Wherever sine 0 comes, this goes, right? C1 is not there. C2 is there because cos 0, right? Right?
Hmm.
Then here minus 2y dash. For that, I'm writing minus 2 and y dash, I'm writing this. So 2 into 1 here, right?
Hmm.
And then c1 sine 0, c1 vanishes, c2 is there. C2 is there. Again, minus 2. Okay. Then into the power 1. Then this c1 cos 0. So c1 is there, right? C2 vanishes. I'm left with this. So now if I see here, this is my minus c1 minus 2c2 minus 2c2 minus 2c1, right? So if I notice here, I combine the terms. So this is minus c1 and minus 2c1. So this will become minus 3c1, correct? And this minus 2c2 minus 2c2 will become minus 4c2, correct?
Hmm.
Hmm? Um, okay, just one thing I have to say. When I'm multiplying, na? Okay. Just see the sign for C1 vanishes there, na? C2 remains. This minus 2 is also there, right? So this is
Mm.
minus 2 C2, correct?
Yeah.
Minus 2 C2. Then this is minus, this was minus, then this is minus 2, minus 2 C1, correct? Minus 2 C1. Okay, so you'll get this value, minus 3 C1. So what it says is that, it says is that कि भाई, these two values are equal. Y dash, see, Y dash you got this. C2 minus 2 C1. Y double dash you got this, right?
Mm.
So you equate both of these, Y dash and Y double dash, right? So that is your C2 minus 2 C1 would be equal to minus 3 C1 minus 4 C2, right? So C2 minus 2 C1 would be equal to minus 3 C1 minus 4 C2, minus 3 C1 minus 4 C2, correct? Now already you have the value of C1. C1 is equal to 2, correct? So you'll get the value of C2. C2 minus 2 into 2, right?
Mm.
Minus 3 into 2 minus 4 C2, right? So you take this here. This is your minus 4. C2 minus 4 minus 6 minus 4 C2. So if you take this here, so this will become uh, some, this will become 5 or 3, minus 5 C2. And this will become 6 minus 4 C2, sorry, C2. Okay, okay. There is one. Okay, 3. Okay, just a second. This is
Mm.
not minus, this plus this 6. Okay, 6. So, wait a second. Okay, what is the value now? Tell me if you just, if you take this C2, keep here. This is 6 plus 4 minus 4 C2. Take that here. 5 C2 is equal to 10. So C2 value would be equal to 2. Okay. C2 is
Mm.
equal to 2. C1 is equal to 2 in this case. Okay. This was basically okay. Now I want you basically to understand this one simple can you do. Last problem I'll show you today because this is the first time I'm teaching you maths and it will become heavy on you.
Yeah.
Okay. So today we'll leave it at one hour only. I'm not feeling well actually, and I have some college work also.
Yeah.
So
It's
okay,
fine.
so you just study. Try to, let's pray to God that it exam gets a little bit delayed. Okay. Otherwise, it
Okay.
is so you came to tuition little late. One
Yeah.
day before exam, you are telling about power system. Okay. You see in my channel so many videos I teach used to teach that and all, but in one day how I can teach? You tell me, is it
Yeah.
possible? Now you realized it was not possible when you were calling me.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
told you the truth. Yeah, I told you the truth. It's not about like I'm generating some revenue from you, but you should also get benefited, na? When I'm giving you something. I mean,
Yes.
x of 0 is equal to 0 is telling dx of dt of 0 is equal to 15. Okay, and calculate C. Now, this is a simple problem. Calculate C1 and C2. Now, see what you will do first step. Tell me. First step
Mm.
would be same, right now. Calculate the auxiliary equation. See, auxiliary equation, you do this, right? D by dt, right? See
Mm.
here d by dt you put as d. So that means d square by dt square would be equal to d square, right?
Mm.
So this would be equal to d square x plus 4 dx plus 29x equals to 0, correct? Then here you put d square plus 4d plus 29 and x you take down there is equal to 0. Then here you just see b is 4, right? So this is minus 4 plus minus 4 square, That is 16 by 4 AC minus 4 AC into 100 into 29. That C is 29 divided by 2 into 1. So this would be minus 4 by 2. And when
mm,
you take the 4 inside this, so 2 inside this would be 4. 6 minus 29 into 4 is 116. 116 divided by this 4 value. So if you just do, this will become minus 100 by 4. Minus 100 by 4. Minus 100 by 4 ones are 425s are. So this will become minus 2 plus minus. See, 225 ka square root is 5. So 5i. So you got the roots, right? So you get the equation. From these roots, you get the equation. One is real and imaginary. Now in this case,
mm,
the real part happens to be e power minus 2t, and for the imaginary, you will write that equation c1 cos 5t plus c2 sine 5t. Okay. Now
mm,
notice this equation is written in terms of x, not in terms of y. Okay, so and x of t. So you'll write this is my x of t value. Okay. Then x dash of t. Okay, that means I have to differentiate it with respect to x. D by dx of, no, x dash of t na. So you should differentiate it with respect to t. D by dt of x of t. So this term also you have to, so this will become your x dash of t. Again, the same formula you will use. This you keep u, this you keep v, right? Okay, understood. E
yeah.
power minus 2t. Okay, c1 cos 5t is there, plus C2 sine 5t, right now.
Mm,
Keep this as u and v. So if this is u is equal to e power minus 2t, so u dash, that is your du by dt. This would be equal to minus 2 e power minus 2t, okay? And v you have kept as c1 cos of t plus c2 sine of t, correct? So that means dv by dt value would be equal to, so differentiation of cos is minus sine c1 sine of t, and differentiation of sine is plus cos. So C2 cos of t. Okay, then just substitute, right? U into dv by dt plus v into du by dt. Okay, so u value you put e power minus 2x. Okay, d v by dt was this minus c1 sine t plus c2 cos t. Okay, for this value, right? And u, this value, right? Then v is what? V is this c1 cos 5t plus c2 sine 5t. There also you have to write 5t, 5t, 5t into differentiation na, of that. That was equal to minus 2 e power minus 2t. Okay, I'll write in the next page. So this will become equal to your x dash of t. X dash of t now becomes equal to your e to the power minus 2t. Okay, minus 5 c1 sine 5t, because cos you differentiated there, plus c5 c2 cos 5t minus 2 e to the power minus 2t c1. Just a second. Today
mm.
voice and all is not breaking. Huh? I got my laptop a little bit now. Sorry, this thing
No,
checked.
it's okay.
Otherwise it was like I was taking na,
Yeah.
c1 cos 5t plus c2 sine 5t. Okay, this is the case. Now this you got as x dash of t, right? And x of t is this value, e to the power minus 2t c1 cos 5t plus c2 sine 5t, correct? This is the value. Now in this, what it is saying is that, see, x of 0, that means when I put this t value equal to 0, x of 0 is equal to 0. So that means when this t value is 0, so this becomes 0. And x I have to put 0, not t. X I have to put 0, right? Oh, sorry, t only. Sorry.